What's good, YT family? It's your brother ELI coming with another 90Z boxing video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate the love. So, shout out to Shakur Stevenson, my New Jersey native, my New Jersey brother. Getting the win. Something I expected. I'll be honest. I do love Shakur. I do love his style. I do love that he is a student of the game of boxing. And I do think I want to say he's the best boxer at the 135 position, at the 135 division, I'm sorry. He's the best boxer there is, right? Like, point blank period. He's a better boxer than Tank. He's a better boxer than Devin. He's a better boxer than anybody that you want to name in the 135 division. He's pure boxing. I think Shakur trumps all of them. I do think that his game has a lot of holes in it, and I do think this is the thing. I think a lot of these guys, Shakur, Devin, even Tank, right? Even with this Lamont Roach situation, this exposed to me is that they have to start fighting high-level guys often. And I'm going to use the Tank Lamont Roach situation. I ain't going to say we. The people who are in the boxing community and know and are, aware of the guys who casuals don't really show so much light to, right? Because I feel like in boxing, the people who get the most shine, you mainly are the people who are just super, I ain't gonna say overrated, but they're just hyped up a lot, right? And I'm not trying to say that it's not warranted, but there's also other fighters who just don't have the necessary, how would you say? They don't have the juice. They don't have the eyes of the people, so they can rack up a lot of fights, right? And obviously, the big names know them, but they never really get seen by these in these major fights, because they just don't get the looks. They just don't get the accolades that the bigger boxers do. We need to be seeing Shakur, Devin, Tank. We need to be seeing those guys fight high-level fights often, right? It's no reason why we should have. It took Gervonta Davis going this long without fighting somebody like that, right? And I'm not trying to say that any of the people that he fought before wasn't like that, but you can kind of tell, even in that fight that Tank was in, that it was new to him. Not necessarily new, because you can tell he's used to fighting with those guys. But those are the wars that would happen in sparring that people aren't aware of. Those are the wars that those dog fights that you see, in those sparring wars and all that stuff like that I used to watch. That is what you would see when you seen Lamont Roach and Tank fight. And fights like this with Shakur, where, Shakur was handling his business, right? But William Zepeda was very much so being the aggressor for the majority of the fight. After in the later rounds, I want to say like around like 7, 8, I want to say Shakur started to kind of wear him down with the body shots. So, like, I think, William Zepeda's legs was getting away from him a little bit. Still kept keeping pressure and staying in front of Shakur, but I do feel like Shakur kind of kept him at bay with the constant movement, and obviously just the missing, right? For every 10 punches Zepeda threw, he might only really truly connected to, and it wasn't really any, after after so many punches, man, like he threw I think like in around, like, I think it was around 6, 7, bro, he threw already like 350 punches, 400 something punches, and only landed like 120. So it was just like, volume wasn't a problem for him. It was just more so connecting. And Shakur's just one of those people that he can just make you look. He can just make you look crazy. You know what I mean? Especially if you're just throwing wild punches like that. And obviously, everybody want to talk about the fourth round time. The fourth round. I think it was a jab. It looked like a light jab. It did look like Shakur got hurt. It did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he did because he recovered and he didn't look hurt. He didn't look hurt, but it just looked bad. It just looked bad. It was a nice jab, and I just think it was just one of those punches that like it might not have hurt him, but it might have caught him so off guard. Like some people don't know that like you could just get caught off guard by a punch, not necessarily hurt, but just caught off guard. Like whoa, oh shit, lose your balance. So I think that's kind of what happened. But after that, man, Shakur has a lot to work to do. It's a lot of holes in his game, right? There's a lot of things he can work on. But this is why they need to be fighting high-level competition. This is why they need to be fighting people who really make sense, right? Like a lot of these fights, for what kind of fights, right? And for people like Shakur, I think he does need to fight more often. Right, he does need to fight more often because like this is not the time where he needs to, like I don't want it to be where I don't see Shakur for another year. Like he needs more volume of fights to where like this is where becoming a tailored, seasoned veteran in boxing. Right, this is what it's this is what it's made for. Like, and these guys are all in their young 20s. Obviously not, Tank is being the older one. I believe Tank is already 30. But even that is still young. Like, man, a lot of these guys have a lot of gas still in the tank. And I think, it's imperative that they just keep active. They keep active, man. They keep active. I think Conor Ben was talking crazy to Shakur. I actually watched that. I watched a few clips of that interview. Very funny. I love to see Conor Ben and Shakur talk. I've seen a few people in the comments say like, "Oh man, they should start a podcast." That it was a funny interaction. But either way, man, like like shout out to Shakur. Very good fight. Shout out to William Cepeda. He did his thing. I know this is his first loss, but I think he'll be he'll be alright. Ain't nothing wrong with Cepeda. That was just it don't get no more elite than that. Honestly, it don't get no more elite than that. It's Shakur. He's just one of the best boxers in the world, if not the best pure boxer in the world, man. You're not gonna hit him. He's not gonna he's not gonna make many mistakes, and that I think that's what people don't like about him, is that he doesn't take that many chances, and when he does take chances, it's almost as if like. It's almost like there was times where like he would do like 3-punch combos, 4-punch combos, keep him at distance, and and it was sporadic, but it was almost as if he only took those chances when I don't know. It's almost as if he only took those chances when he felt like it was truly necessary to keep Cepeda at bay. And then, he'll kind of get back to just, playing defense, letting Cepeda, kind of take off a lot, and then we'll go right back to, a few combinations, keeping the jab there, hooks. He was doing his thing. Shakur was doing his thing. And I think everyone should watch the fight and watch the fight multiple times. I'm going to watch it again. I'm not one of those people that I'm one of those people that, bro, like I gotta watch a fight multiple times for me to truly understand what I seen. I'm not one of these people who could call a fight like in live time. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. My mind just doesn't work like that. But either way, shout out to Shakur. Definitely, got much love for bro. I hope, I hope this is definitely not the last time we see for him I hope we see him soon. He needs to be in there soon, to just keep his skills up. Learn from this, right? And, yeah, man, I'm excited to see what happens with his career. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate the love. Much appreciate the support. Holla at me. Peace.